Ladies and gentlemen, this is Mickey Clayton, the coach, and I'm here with the Claflin Athletic Show. Early in this year, we already had a volleyball team back because last year when we got started, we got them on once. They're in season now. Roland just had a big win, and we want to keep everybody up to date with what's going on with them and keep them apprised of the successes that this volleyball team is having. So without further ado, I'm going to bring to you Coach Guinyard and the crew.
Hey,
Coach, welcome to the show again. We always appreciate you having on, so organized, and your young ladies always looking so nice.
Thank y'all for having us again.
Oh, Coach, y'all becoming favorites.
Right.
That's the goal.
We about to make them. I'm not even going to act like I know. Coach, I'm going to let you introduce them, even though everywhere in civilized world, they seem to know them now. So go ahead and tell us who they are.
So back again with me, I have my senior libero, Jasmine, from Lugoff, South Carolina. And then my vet now, she was a baby in the spring, but she's a vet now, Siri Davis from Orangeburg, South Carolina.
Welcome, young ladies.
Hey, thanks for having us.
Oh, I love that teamwork. Hey. Coach, no, let me ask you, young ladies, what's y'all first mind when Coach tell you, we need y'all to do the show? Y'all, what's y'all reaction?
I'm excited sometimes. This is my third time doing it, so I kind of know the ropes now.
Yeah, same. Like, we just did one yesterday, and then this is my second time doing it with you, so I'm pretty excited every time we do it.
Oh, that's a good answer, Coach. I know you prep them. I know y'all do. Tell me, you just coming off a big match. Tell us about it.
So last evening here in Telus Arena, we played Tuskegee for the second time. The first time we played them last Monday on September 11th at their place. We went to 5 sets, of course, but we were victorious in those 5 sets. And then on last evening, we got that clean 3-set sweep. Of course, that third set was a nail biter. It went down to the wire of the deciding win by 2. And we won 27-25. It was a very thrilling match. We had our jungle, we had our athletes in the building, and then also our community members, our families were here. So it was a great match. And then also resetting from last week, starting conference against Shaw. So it was a bit of a reset and a refresher to kind of kick off this week right here as we segue into strictly conference.
Wow, congratulations, young ladies. Did you have a lot of people at the match?
We
Yes.
did. The student section was packed.
Was it? How did that make y'all feel?
It made us feel great. We had a lot of support. They actually learn our cheers, so they can be helping us too.
Yeah, I fed off of their energy for real last night.
Did you? So, Coach, is that normal to have that type of support, or has it gotten better?
It's gotten better, and it's growing. I can only imagine as, like I said, we segue into conference, more people coming out and more of the students getting involved, because when we go to these other conference opponents, their student section is the same. So it's going to intensify as we get closer and get deeper into conference matches.
Wow. What do you remember most about the crowd last night, either one of your students?
Every time we did something good, they went crazy. And then if the other team did something bad, they would like call their names and pick on them. And they've never really done that here, but everywhere we go, they do that to us. So it was nice to hear that from our crowd.
Wow. And for you?
Yeah, the same. Like, I feel like when we go to other schools, their crowd is like locked in, and they're definitely always nitpicking on us. So it's finally good to see that our school is doing the same things to other teams, like, funny games. But yeah,
sometimes other schools, the crowd is really funny though, aren't they?
Yes.
It's like, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just, when they call my name, I'm like, how do you know my name? Like, what do you mean? And then they'll follow me on Instagram. Like, we're the come from? It's crazy.
Oh, I love it. I love it. They used to do that when we played basketball, and sometimes they gave one of our guys such a funny nickname that he carried that name for years. So sometimes you have to pay attention to the match, but the crowd and some of the comments from the peanut gallery, you be like, no, they didn't say that for real, did they? Where do you guess the crowd is the loudest that you go to?
Winston?
Yeah, probably Winston.
Wow. Our crowd at Claflin starting to be able to compete with that a little bit.
Yes.
Wow. They were really live last week, huh?
Oh yeah.
I mean, yesterday. I'm sorry.
Last week.
Yeah, last week they was on it too. I think the Shaw coach complimented them. I think I overheard him telling our student activities board first vice president, that they were the best student section that he had ever kind of witnessed during the match.
That's a heck of a compliment.
Yes.
Yeah, we had the student activity board president on last week, and she was really hyped about trying to get on and get in the jungle and get the jungle riled up and everything. So some of that thing is being successful, huh?
Yes. And I think with them, last year, the dean of students actually taking them to the CIAA, and they saw how rich in history and rich in pride and support of the other conference institutions. So I think that lit a fire under this new administration. Like, we got to get involved. Like, we're no longer, they can consider us new kids on the block, but we got to get with the program. So I think him taking them and them actually seeing the other students and the other universities and their support, not just from the students on campus, but the alumni in general. I think it kind of lit a little fire in them. So they got some things cooking.
Wow, that was a heck of a strategic move to have them go to the CIAA so they get a better understanding of what it's about.
Right.
And they've been crunk ever since, huh?
Yes. And I think I've been hearing that they're going to take some fan buses to probably two of our games. So fingers crossed to have them with us.
Oh gosh.
I hope so.
Right.
Hopefully at Winston.
Right.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have to love the energy from Coach Shy and her girls. And when they're talking about the student section, we always say all the time as the alumni that when we see the student section going crazy, we just kind of point and laugh because it say, you remember y'all used to do that? Y'all used to act all crazy. But all the energy comes from the students at the games. So are you promoting the game better than what you did in the past?
I think like when we promote it, like they promote it better. Like so everybody from SGA and SAB, they're becoming more involved. So they're helping us promote the games more now.
Okay, Coach, you played well because you went to 5 last week or week before and you swept them this time. What was the difference in the play? Did the crowd make that much difference, or was it your improvement within the team, or both?
Of course, us being home, I think that was the extra boost. But then also revisiting how we played them the first time. When we played them, of course, they took that first step from us when we went to them, and then we won the next 2 sets, the second and the third one. And we kind of got a little complacent in that fourth set. So we focused and we kind of thought about what was not the issue, but kind of like that barrier of where we got complacent as far as like serve receive. But we just kind of broke down the things that kind of took us away and kept us in that little box a little bit. And then we just put that into when they came here. We knew exactly what we needed to do. We know what players that we needed to strategically keep our eyes on and keep a lock on, and then also keeping our defensive service tight the entire time.
Okay. Does Coach stay on you in terms of the things that you did wrong? Oh, boy, I couldn't even get that question out. Coach, you ought to see, when you see it, you can see the expressions when you watch it, when I ask them. So Coach gets on you pretty good about the errors that you made, and from that you improve, correct?
Oh
Yes.
yes.
Oh yes.
Jasmine, what are you doing? But okay. I know.
Yes, you're going to hear it from her because she's invested in the game, and you just want to win. We want to give people what they want to see. So of course she's going to be invested. If we messed up, she's going to be honest.
And I play like really close to her, so I can hear everything she's saying in my ear. So I'm like, oh my Lord. So yeah, she does.
But no, when your name is Shy and you go by Coach Shy, then you would think they're kind of quiet, but that's not true, huh?
No, not at all.
Coach, these faces are priceless. I absolutely can't wait to watch it. You can see their expressions when they're like, am I going to really just go on and say this? But it's all in their face. Which one of you going to end up coaching?
I think
That's
I'd be the
question.
one. I don't know. I tell her all the time, go ahead and put me on her team. So we'll see.
Say, would you like to coach at Claflin?
I think so.
I think I would.
Like I already coached. I already coached with her assistant coach in the off season with clubs. So I feel like it would be good if that's something I could do in the future.
Who wouldn't want to coach at their alma mater?
Mm-hmm.
You're right, but see, you can't, Coach. I know you can. Let me tell you, you can't take it for granted what you built in these young ladies that they want to come back, because not everybody says that, and not everybody wants to go back and play with their coach. They're like, man, as soon as I can get out of here, I'm done. But that has to be based on the relationship, Coach, that you have established with these young ladies that they would want to do that. Tell me a little bit about what you young ladies are majoring in. Tell us about you academically.
I'm an elementary education major.
I am a accounting major, computer science minor.
Okay, now you gave me that standard, like talking to your dad type response. Now tell me what you're gonna do with it now.
Well, I want to be a forensic accountant, so they kind of like seek out fraud and all of those things. Or I'll probably just get a CPA and work like at a company or something.
What made you think about forensic accounting?
I feel like it's different than an everyday desk job. Like it seems more fun than just running through balance sheets and everything like that. Like you're actually searching for something.
Okay. Elementary education major?
I love little kids, so I want to teach second grade.
Why second grade?
I've interned with the first grade class and I've interned with the third grade class. So I know I don't want to go higher than third grade. And so like first grade, they were still kind of babies. Third grade, they're going into that testing phase. So I feel like second grade, right in the middle, get the best of both worlds.
Coach, how do you see those occupational choices for the two young ladies that you have on here? How do you see that playing out for them?
Well, I mean, they show it in like their daily walks throughout, not even just practice, but how they carry themselves around, campus and, throughout their family life. Jasmine is more of a nurturing mom kind of thing. You could go to her with maybe a problem and she'll kind of find a solution for you. Siri, she'll dig, and she loves crunching numbers. I could say, Siri, what's the hour count on this? Or Siri, what's this money amount? And Siri give it to me right then and there. So I kind of balance them off, and then all of them throughout, they all have their own personality that matches with their major. So I definitely see it. And especially with Jasmine, she's about to segue out. So I see myself in her because on my way of matriculation, I was an elementary education major. So second grade was my thing. I did not want to do third grade. I actually like kindergarten, but yeah. I love kindergarten.
Wow. Now that's interesting. And it's interesting when she said second grade and she didn't want to do third. It was like you right away started shaking your head. No, what is it about third grade?
I think that's she said, a pivotal part of them going into testing. But I think part of them is still they're segueing into middle school. So that's kind of like that secondary school grade level too. So it's different. And some of them, they think they know, but they don't know. They don't know yet.
They don't know.
That almost sounds like y'all when you enter as freshmen and think you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and it's
we
a shock.
Don't know anything.
Now, young ladies, I was telling on you. You got to see your coach's facial expression when I said that. Well, she sat back and went, You right. Do y'all have that ability, or do you see it when you talk to the incoming freshmen? Do you see yourself where it's kind of hard to listen when people try to tell you? Do y'all see yourself in some of them?
A little bit.
Yeah, kind of. Some of them. I was a little hard-headed too, but like, what's she talking about? I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So, kind of.
As far as me, I feel like the kind of struggle that some of them are going through because it's their first year and it's a lot on them. I can kind of relate to that, especially like life things outside of that. So I feel like me going through those things my first year and it happening to them, I could kind of help them more.
Coach, how do you feel? I'm looking at you like the proud mother hen that's sitting there watching them, kind of taking a back seat and you listen to them. Coach, how do you feel looking at the growth that you're experiencing in these two young ladies?
Sometimes I think I'm like, I question, am I getting, are they listening? Are they receiving it? So to hear it put out that they are, and sometimes I don't think it is, but when the way they talk, I definitely see that they're listening. It takes some time, and they may not want to hear it, but I think sometimes with this generation, talking to them, they don't usually give out a response. It's through their actions. So.
Yeah.
Okay, young ladies, I'm gonna turn it around and ask you. Now, do you listen, or how do you feel when Coach tells you something? Does it take a while for it to marinate, or do you know now that it comes from a good place that maybe earlier you wasn't quite so sure?
I feel like when I first started, it took a while for it to marinate. But now when she tells me something, I kind of already know before she says it. So like I try to correct it even before she has to tell me. But even if she does have to tell me, I'll take it in and try to correct that.
Yeah. Kind of having an advantage of knowing her before this, I kind of know it comes from a good place. So like Jazz said, you kind of already know before she says it. So when it gets to her saying it, you know you gotta tighten up.
It's the facial expression. She'll give you that before she says it.
Yeah, she definitely will.
Oh, she doesn't hide them now. She surely doesn't. Do y'all try to explain or help some of the younger girls who don't quite have the relationship when Coach gets on them and they think it's, I coach women too now, so they take it personal, and it's not personal. So y'all, you kind of have to be the conduit to get them to understand where Coach is coming from sometimes. How difficult is that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, two of them actually asked me the other day on the bus. They're like, Jazz, how do you, like, when she yells at you, you don't let it get in your head. You just take it and roll with it. And I had to tell them it took practice. So, I mean, I'm not mad at you that, like, it gets in your head because sometimes she be getting on you. But, like, you just have to learn, like, she wants you to do better. Yeah. So it's not like, oh, you're just making the same mistake. But if you're making the same mistake twice or again and again, then maybe look at yourself and not how the way she's saying it. So I told him it has to take practice. Like, you can't just take it to heart all the time. Just listen to it and then correct it.
Yeah, same. Like when she's saying something, sometimes it can be yelling or whatever, but you have to just take it for the words and not the tone. Because if she's invested in the game, it might come out the wrong way, and that's just okay. But you have to take it for the words.
That's a pretty deep comment you just made. You have to take it for the words and not for the tone. Coach, I've seen growth in the little time that I've known. I'm actually just sitting here almost kind of beaming at how well you young ladies are handling this interview. And it's so so much in terms of what we wanted to present on the show is from your viewpoint. A lot of times as coaches and adults, we kind of give that standard answer, but a lot of you just kind of, it is what it is. And y'all just seem so comfortable now. And that can only help your team grow and mature as well, because you two and some of the other young ladies have to be the ones that can carry on all that stuff that goes on that coach doesn't know about too much later.
Right.
How do y'all feel about that?
I feel like we can get the job done. I mean, if we can fix it before it gets to her, that is great. You know,
Yes.
she already has enough stress with the outside things. So.
Yeah. And some of the stuff is just unnecessary girl stuff that we could talk about before it even has to go to her.
Coach, how do you feel about what they're saying?
That's what I told them from the beginning. From my first official team meeting, I wanted to be peer-led. A lot of things that they could have those conversations about before it gets to me. Because not saying that we have bigger things to worry about, but we really do. And small things like that I feel like they can fix, and kind of, figure out how to maneuver past it. I mean, I'm not saying the change will take the next day switch, but I really want them to be peer-led. Like things like that, they can fix. If it's a bigger issue, okay, come to me. But I want them to be able to figure these things out, because being on a team brings out a lot of life skills, not just skills that you can put on a resume or things that you can do, to kind of help you once you matriculate. But a lot of these things, a lot of problems or solutions, and issues that go on a team are a lot of life skills. So this is doing nothing but building their life skills to go into their respective jobs, because they're going to see these same type of problems. So if they can't handle them now, it'll be a little bit difficult once they get to the adult work world. It's going to kind of be really shell-shocking.
Coach, that's a heck of an answer, because you actually kind of cut me off from the next one, because I was going to ask them, do you see how that can translate into the work environment, the team dynamics that you've established now? Do you see how important that is as you go through life and dealing with other people depending on where you're working?
Yes, I learned early on that it's like you can say stuff to certain people that you can't say to another. So like taking that into the classroom, I know I can't talk to this child, how I could talk to this child, just how I can't talk to this teammate, how I could talk to her. So learning how to speak to one another and learning your teammates, just how I would have to learn my students.
Yeah, same. It's just being like personable. And I think that's going to take it like life, work, and all of those things. And we've been trying to do those things as a team. And I think we all realized a lot within our last team meeting. So it's coming together.
Wow, Coach, that's just a lot of individual and personal growth for these two young ladies to be able to see that. There's a number of companies and corporations that two things. One, they like the fact that you play on athletic teams, and because they feel that you understand how important it is to work together, and it's not about one. If you've never worked in a team environment, then you can very easily be very selfish. Second, if you're on the team, they want to make sure that you get a recommendation from your coach. They think that if you don't get a recommendation from your coach and you play the sport, then you were a problem. That's why you can't go to your coach to get a recommendation. So when they see on that sheet and they say, oh, you played volleyball or basketball, and they look down there and they don't see your coach's name on there, that sends a bad signal to them. Can y'all understand that?
Oh, yeah.
Because the coach they're not gonna tell something wrong about you getting a job interview for them to come back later and really have a couple of really good people they need to interview, but they remember that they recommended somebody that just didn't know anything about working together. Coach, what do you have coming up that these young ladies seem to be very well prepared for as this season is moving along? Coach, what do you have up
So our last non-conference match is Thursday, and so even though this will be our last glimpse at finding those small tidbits we need to tighten up before we start digging into conference next Monday. But we have our last non-conference match on Thursday, and then we're going to hit a lot of film, and not just watching film. We're going to dissect it like by positions and exactly what each position is doing in this situation and in this out of system situation. What are tendencies and things of that sort. And next week we're going to the roundup, so we're going to see a lot of conference play. And I always tell them conference is where it matters. So we have to actually hone in on everything that we're doing to be better to go into this conference tournament.
Okay, Coach, explain to people what happens now in conference play, why it's so significant. And I think in our preseason show, we talked about your tournaments that you have coming where everybody plays everybody and the significance of that. Explain it to them so that everybody kind of understands how serious conference play is.
Okay. So we're going in the conference play. Of course, we will play home and home matches against our Southern Division opponents. It's 7 of us on the Southern Division side, but we'll play 12 matches for our 6 opponents on this side. And then we have our 2 CIAA roundups. On the Northern Division side, we have 6 teams. We split that up between 2 weekends. And these matches for the Northern Division teams actually gives us a glimpse at seeing what they look like because we usually don't see them until our championship time because they'll comprise of the top 4 from both divisions, and then we'll start our matches that way. So these matches that we're playing, our roundup matches against our Northern Division and our Southern matches, us playing well is going to put us, I want to be the top seed so that we'll host and be at home and kick off that championship week very well and give us a boost going into when we move away to Bowie, Maryland.
Okay, last year you ended up playing the number 1 seed, correct?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Young lady, you want to make sure you avoid that if possible this year, right?
Yes.
Who's the number 1? Who's the team to beat? Who do you see as the team to beat?
Shaw, Fayetteville, Elizabeth City, those 3.
Yeah, definitely Elizabeth City.
Yeah.
You must have had a problem with Elizabeth City.
No, we just gotta knock them off the horse a little bit.
Yeah, not yet.
You chose those words so carefully. How you said that? I'm a father of daughters, so I know that when y'all kind of do that little head back and forth, you're trying to choose your words very carefully. So I really do appreciate that. Coach, I really appreciate you allowing these 2 young ladies to represent your program. They continue to show growth. They continue to represent your volleyball program and Claflin University so well. And I could see why you pick them. And each time I get them, they speak so much better. And they were good to start off with.
Right.
And ladies and gentlemen, they're always coordinated now. She has them hooked up, and I don't know. I don't know. She has it hooked up, and her young ladies do such an excellent job of interviewing. They really do. So, young ladies, anything you want to say as we prepare to close?
Catch us in the jungle this season.
Yeah, tune in.
Be loud.
Ooh, I like that. Catch us in the jungle.
It is cute.
Coach, catch us in the jungle. Coach, anything?
As always, if we're in a city near you, you can check our Claflin Athletics Instagram, our Claflin Volleyball Instagram, our CUSAB Instagram. They're always posting. We're always posting where we are, where we're headed. So if we're in a city near you, alumni, if you are a fan just wanting to support Claflin Athletics, Claflin Volleyball, we are more than welcome and would love to have you supporting us to our journey to the championship.
And you play on the road this Thursday. The show come out Thursday. You're at Bruton Parker?
Yes.
Tell everybody where that is.
Bruton Parker is in Mount Vernon, Georgia. It's a small little town. I want to say outside of close to maybe an hour or so away from Augusta, but it's 2.5 hours from here. So if you're in the Bruton Parker, Mount Vernon area, it's at 6:00. It is free. So if you want to support Claflin University Lady Panther Volleyball, we will be in the place for another win to make it 2-0 this week.
Young ladies, anything you want to add to what Coach said?
I think she said it all.
Yeah, I think she said it all. That's there.
Beat us there.
Yeah, beat us there.
Beat us there.
Ladies and gentlemen, is nothing else for me to say after that?
Insights now has its own Roku channel. Insights itself is a dream maker, providing a platform for content creators. Go with Insights Roku channel into 91 million homes. We are strengthening our programs that will continue to educate, entertain, and enlighten our viewers. We will still feature youth sports, Mick and Rick, Insights Magazine, Remember the Legends, and much more. Stay tuned for our creative content. We will continue to appreciate your support.
Follow us on Twitter. Insights. Yeah. 2 I's in the middle. INSIIGHTS.